Hey guys, this is a mechanic task guide for Airmail. For this task, you do have to launch a red signal flare at the Old Sawmill on Woods. And Mechanic does provide you with a red flare when you do accept this task, so make sure to go into your messenger and then receive all from Mechanic in case you don't already have a red flare in your stash. And here's a map of Woods, and the Old Sawmill is at the northeast part of the map below Scavtown. This is not the sawmill where Sturman can spawn, so if you do end up firing off a flare there, then it definitely will not count for this task. So just make sure that you do come to the Old Sawmill, and I have marked on the map the general area that will work for this task. But basically firing it closer to the larger building is what will probably be the most reliable way, since a lot of people do seem to struggle shooting off flares for tasks. So I am here on Woods overlooking the Old Sawmill area, and then the Scavtown and car extract is going to be located over this way. But as we do turn around and then approach the Old Sawmill area, then I end up firing my red flare off in front of this blast shield and the ATV by the larger sawmill building. And now in order to fire off the flare, it does need to be in your rig, or if you do already have the unhurt edition and the larger pockets, then it can be in your pockets. But in order to equip it, you do have to hover over the flare and then assign a number to the flare from your keypad for the quick slots, or you can also drag the flare down and drop it into a number and assign it that way. After you do this, then you can close your inventory and then hit the corresponding number that you assign to it, and then it will pull it out for you. Now, in order for the subtask to trigger, you will have to remember to not fire the flare directly straight up at a 90-degree angle. Otherwise, the flare will land behind you and not work for whatever reason. So just make sure that it is angled a little bit forward. Once you do fire off the flare appropriately, then you will get a quest completion, and you do not have to survive an extract to be able to hand this task in. And as for the red signal flares, if you end up dying with the one that was provided to you and you don't have any more saved in your stash, then you can end up finding one on your scav when you do load into a scav raid, or on other AI or player scavs, or you can also loot them from marked rooms, ground and buried barrel caches, the 4x4, 5x2, 5x5, and 6x3 weapon boxes. Or if you do have one available, then you can also use the signal pistol with the small 26x75mm red flare cartridge if you have that instead of the bigger handheld 2-slot signal flare. So hopefully you guys found this guide useful and it does help you to complete this task. Thank you all for choosing my guide on this, and I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day.